Who's that chick?
I have no idea. She came in with her granddad or her dad. I'm not sure which of the two it is.
The things I would do to her.
Yeah. She looks tacky though. But your type probably. A bit young if you ask me.
Mr. Pei.
Yes, I am. Call me Johnny. John, Mr. Pei, or any combination of the two that will make me feel my age.
That's fine with me. So, Johnny it is.
Yes.
Right, me and Mr. Mwako were actually ready for you, waiting for you in the boardroom. This way, please.
Shall we?
Yes. I hope you don't mind leaving your granddaughter here. She'll be fine here at the reception.
She's not my granddaughter.
Oh, again.
She's not my daughter either.
Oh, okay. Again, I should not ask any questions without even having the facts right. I mean, of all people, I should know.
She is my domestic partner.
Johnny Pei.
Richie!
Unlike you, I'd like to be known by my full names, and Mwako will do just fine.
No quarrel with that.
And who is this charming young lady next to you? Let me guess.
Be my guest.
Rachel, your granddaughter. You're getting to look more like your mother. What?
I always get it like that. She's my girlfriend. Actually, my fiancée.
What?
My fiancée, Penny. Penny, this is Richard Mwako.
I'll be damned. You never cease to amaze me.
Mwako, life is too short. You better enjoy it when you can. As you can see, we were made for each other.
If you say so.
I want to marry her.
Yeah?
Yes. And my sons will not take that lying down. I thought I should have given you a bit of insight as to why I needed your help. And it occurred to me that by bringing her along, will do all the talking for me.
Yes, it surely does. Sure does.
My sons want to declare me senile and mentally incapacitated. They want to control my property and every shilling that I have worked for. And you can all see why. I have found a beautiful woman, 46 years younger than myself. I want to marry her.
It's like making me miss my granddad. It's rare to see, huh? A grandfather holding hands with his granddaughter.
Grandfather. That's his girlfriend. Yeah, same reaction I had. Mwako wants to see you as soon as you get here.
Fine, let's explore it. We'll just give them a call and hopefully come to a compromise. But from my experience, that could be a waste of time.
Worth trying, though.
Of course.
Yeah. Elsie, what reason would a young, beautiful woman who can get any man she wants want to be with a man who's older than her father?
Only one reason. Money.
Precisely, Mr. Mwako.
But financial security is at the top of requirements for a woman before she marries any man. And age doesn't make a difference. You wanted to see me?
Yes, please take care of this for me. I've just got my hands in another case.
So you're going to take this?
Yes, my personal feelings don't matter. It's a case like any other. Well, if I'm going to help a 65-year-old man marry a 19-year-old, I might as well have my body taken care of. Excuse me.
Did he say his body taken care of?
It's lunchtime.
Oh.
This is wrong.
This is what?
I can't do this.
Do what?
I mean, Grandpa has been so good to me, and now I'm about to betray him and testify against him.
Rachel, you are not testifying against your grandfather.
Grandfather has not done anything wrong to us.
Your grandfather is mentally unstable.
For all I know, he is okay.
He is mentally unstable. If he wasn't, why would he want to marry a girl your age?
You talk to him, he'll say reason.
It's like that. Gold digger has cast a spell on him. He won't listen to reason.
Daddy, it doesn't matter what you say. I just feel guilty doing this.
Rachel, hi.
Hi, Uncle Tom.
Where are you off to? The court session is just about to begin.
I just want to go and get some little air.
Rachel is feeling guilty taking sides against her grandfather.
Hey, I don't really understand where you're coming from. However, we need to do this. Imagine this, we are suing our own father.
Yeah, I guess. I'll be right back.
All right.
Rachel, I'm sorry. I never meant for all this to happen.
How could you? He is my grandfather, for Pete's sake.
Yes, and he's a very good man, and he treats me right.
You used me.
Rachel, that's not true.
Then how is it?
Rachel,
Hi, Grandpa.
how are you?
I could be better. Excuse me.
What happened?
What else?
Please, let's get seated.
The moment of reckoning is here. Daniel, Tom, Rachel, where is the rest of the brood?
Taking care of other very important businesses rather than coming to court to do a case with their senile grandfather. This is a waste of time for everybody.
Total waste of time.
Why aren't you listening to us?
Well, pass my warm regards. Tell them I miss them.
These phone calls should be somewhere else doing something else, not answering calls.
Mwako and Company Advocates? Sorry about that. My apologies. How can I be of assistance? Okay, please hold on. Please. If you found a better place to go and work, you better go there then. This arrogance you're displaying here is beginning to piss me off. All right? You cannot sit on your butt and expect things to happen.
Sorry.
You better be.
So are your side cases part of your making it happen for you?
You tell anyone about this, and this will be the last time you come through that door.
Well, you could give me a cut to keep me quiet.
Nope.
Well, I may have no choice.
If you know what's good for you, do it.
Oh, well. Mwako and Company, how may I help you?
Well, Daniel, you're the firstborn son to John Pere.
Yes, I am. I am 45 years old, married, and with 3 children. Rachel is my firstborn and the eldest of my father's grandchildren.
Your mother is deceased, am I correct?
Yes, she passed on 2 years ago in a motor accident.
I'm made to understand that your father was also in the car.
Yes, he was, but lucky for him, he survived with minor injury.
I'm sorry for your loss. Tell me, how did your father handle your mother's death?
He was grief-stricken, inconsolable for a while. He went into a depression so bad, even as a family, we thought he should see a psychiatrist.
It was that bad?
Yes, he didn't even attend our mother's funeral. All he did was lock himself up in a room day and night, arranging all her accessories, clothes, shoes, and all the things that she had.
For how long did this depression last?
About 8 months. And after that, he began getting better.
While he was down, who was taking care of your family's estate business?
I and my younger brother Tom did. And immediately he got better, we removed ourselves from the daily running of the business so that he could manage it himself.
After he got better and was back on his feet, were there any changes in his behavior or character?
My father went completely on an overhaul. He went on a total different tangent. He started going for exercising, yoga, and he started swimming a lot.
Did that bother you?
Not at all. We were glad he was active and getting his body back to shape. There was no bizarre about that.
And then?
Then he bought himself a brand new BMW, total out of character.
Objection, my lord. I don't see the relevance of this.
It has a lot of significance, your lordship.
A 2-seater, red convertible. I don't see you in any of those, Mr. Mwako.
You'd be surprised if you peeped in my garage.
Silence in court. A red convertible is a signature, for your information, for midlife crisis, which, of course, does not apply in this case since John Pere clearly has passed that stage.
Objection, my lord. My client has every right to indulge with whatever car he desires to drive. After all, he can afford it.
Yeah, a red BMW convertible.
Counsel, shall we get ahead? We don't have eternity.
Much obliged, your lordship. After the red BMW convertible. What happened next?
He started hanging out, having late nights, and hanging out with a much younger crowd. As he said, he was reminding himself of his youth. But he also changed his style of dressing.
To what, may I ask?
To jeans, t-shirts, sneakers, and leather jackets.
Jeans, sneakers, leather jackets.
Objection, my lord. Once again, I don't see what his style of dressing has to do with his mental state or the case at hand. Jeans and sneakers are a casual way of dressing, and if I may add, they are quite comfortable.
My lord, I'd like to establish the changes John Paye was undergoing because of the loss of his wife.
He was getting back his life after a major loss and depression. Yet he's being judged for being happy and throwing in a casual look once in a while. We should be congratulating him for finding a way to cope with his loss.
Jeans and sneakers were never his style of dress. Objection overruled.
My lord.
I will allow it.
Don't get me wrong. We were okay with all this until one day when he came home and removed all our mother's photos from the walls in the house. To add injury to the wound, he told me that he was in love with my daughter's best friend, a girl I literally watched grow up, a girl the same age as his granddaughter. How sick is that?
Sick? Sick? How dare you disrespect me like that?
How dare you desecrate our mother's memory, removing all her photos, transferring the family beach plot to her? She is nothing but a digging hole who dug her nail into your life just for your money.
Don't you dare speak about my fiancé like that.
Fiancé? You call that little girl your fiancé? Are you listening to yourself? Dad, are you out of your mind? Just look at her. Just look at her. She has just turned 19. She's no older than my daughter. She's no older than your granddaughter. For Christ's sake. This is insane.
Order, order.
Insane? Insane? You call me insane?
Dad, you are dishonoring yourself. You are disrespecting yourself. Get a grip of yourself, Dad.
Order. Counsel, control your client.
The only person who needs controlling is my father.
John Paye, get back to your seat.
Enough of that crap, you spoiled brat!
You are choosing her over us? She is nothing
I
but
said
a
enough!
Now that's enough for me too. Orderly, arrest that man at once and put him in the cells. The court will take a 20 minutes recess.
That's a lot of money, Mr. Kairu.
Yep. Can you imagine what this money can do for you?
So much.
So?
Another day, another time. Maybe.
I can get you an internship somewhere else, then maybe we can...
But I like it over here, Mr. Kairu.
See what you're missing?
Did you see that? Your grandfather has totally lost it.
Daddy, I'm sorry about that.
And what hold does that friend of yours have on him?
She's no longer my friend.
Oh yes, your grandfather is ill. He is very ill. I think we need to take him back to the therapist.
Hey, you okay?
I just lost my cool.
Anyway,
The judge is going to be here in a minute. Just a second.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very well, very well. It was a stinking hell.
I can imagine. What did they do to you? What did they do to you? What is bad? Come on.
Arise.
Mr. Payer, I have decided to be lenient, and that's why you are back again with us after that recess that you instigated. I will not allow you to go amok again. Is that understood?
Yes, my lord.
Good. Oletepese, would you like to continue?
No, my lord, I was already done with the witness.
Mr. Mwako?
I have no question for this first witness.
Well, he woke up one morning saying that he's never felt so good about his life. He even stopped seeing his doctor, that is Dr. Mkoa. And he cited that his life was back on track.
And was it?
Actually, no. That we realized later on because the following day, he bought himself a brand new BMW convertible. The following week, there was a major wardrobe change. And the following month, he changed his will.
Changed his will?
Yes. Actually, what happened is he awarded 90% of the family's assets and wealth to one Penny Lima, who's a first-year student at the university.
And the other 10%?
To my knowledge, the 10% he gave out to charity. Still on the same breath, he managed to transfer the beach house that we have in South Coast to the same Penny Lima.
All this happened in the span of 1 month.
Yes, it did. We're talking about the transfers and the change of will. Now, you see, what really angered us the most was that he went and pulled down all of our mother's photos and portraits from both the beach house and the family house.
How did you find out of the pending nuptials with the lady in question?
That was on the same night that I actually found out about the transfers. You see, I work with my dad in the property management business, which again manages the family estates. I come in as the auditor. Now, I was doing my audits, and then I noticed the transfers, which my brothers and sisters actually didn't know about. So with that, in that regard, I went and talked to them, and we decided to confront our father. Well, that didn't go down very well, because a fight ensued, and it was out of that fight that we actually, Dad told us about Penny Lima and the pending nuptials.
How did you take the news?
It was terrible. I mean, everyone was not amused by the outcome of events.
Do you know this, Penelima?
Well, I can say that everybody in the family knows of Penelima. Should I say she was my niece's, that is Rachel's, best friend, because as per now, they're not in good terms. You see, so many things happened within that time frame of 1 month, whereby the transfers had been done, the change of will. That's the time we realized that there was something terribly wrong and that my father was not on the right track.
Do you believe that this teenager is manipulating your father in order to obtain his wealth?
Of course. I mean, everybody could actually see that.
Objection, my lord.
Nothing further.
Quick question. If your father had not transferred the beach house, would you have had a problem with him marrying her?
Of course I would. I mean, look at her. She's too young for him.
Is she too young, or is your father too old for her? Never mind. If your father had not removed the photographs from the house, would you have had a problem with him marrying her?
Of course.
If your father was to marry somebody else other than Penelima, would you have a problem with it?
Our mother just died.
She died 2 years ago.
And that's the more reason why I still do not understand the reason as to why my dad is actually desecrating the memories, the fond memories of our mother.
You said it yourself, that your mother's death hammered him so much to the point of suicide and a permanent state of depression. How much more do you want him to pay to revive your mother's memory? Would you rather he stayed in a permanent state of depression just to keep your mother's memory alive?
All we want is the best for him. Like I said earlier, we still do not understand why he wants to squander all that he's worked for so many years, again, just because of a teenager.
What if the only reason your father bounced back to normal was because of this same teenager that you're viciously fighting against?
That is not true.
What if, after you forcefully separate them, your father goes back into his depressed state?
I mean, everybody can see that all she wants is his money.
And all he wants is to live his life happy. And all you want is his money and his property. You don't care at all about his happiness? Not at all. John Pay. Sorry. Johnny, you're 65 years old.
And stronger than ever.
Yes, I gather as much from your medical records.
Objection. What is being contested here is his mental capacity.
But of course.
Before you ask me about the death of my wife, let me talk about it.
Sure, go right ahead.
I was married to Olivia, my wife, for 43 years. And those were the best 43 years of my life. She was my friend, my rock, the mother of my children. She was everything to me. And there will never be another woman who can match her. She was, and she is, the best thing that ever happened to me. There is not a day that goes without me remembering her. I love her, and I miss her. And now I have found a person who can take care of myself.
A 19-year-old?
Yes, she happens to be 19 years.
Why did you remove your wife's photographs from the house? Why did you do that?
It was very, very hard for me to move on when I could see her face in every room of the house. I did so that I could spend at least a day without feeling empty in the midst of so much, including the love of my children.
The beach house at the south coast?
Yes, the beach house holds very fond memories. Olivia and myself used to take the kids there every 6 months or so on holiday. And some of our children were actually conceived there. And Rachel here was actually born in that beach house when we were on vacation there. I do not want to see that house again. I do not want to set foot in the south coast because Olivia is not there.
Johnny?
Yes.
It's been alleged that you changed the will to include Penny Lima, and you gave her 90%.
That is not true. That statement was made after a heated confrontation with my sons. After all, that is my property. I can do what I wish with it.
Why a 19-year-old for a wife?
And why not? She provides for me. She loves me, at least by her actions. I can see that she does. What does it matter? 19 years, 22, 46, 50. Don't they all serve the same purpose? Don't they? She's loving and caring, and she provides for my needs as I provide for her.
Thank you.
What exactly are these needs that she so faithfully fulfills that you'd opt to give her a beach house worth 22 million Kenya shillings?
A gentleman never tells.
Why not sell the beach house at market value, make some money, and buy another house for the family?
For two reasons. One, I don't need the money. Two, I've already bought another beach house in Malindi.
But you just testified that you do not want to ever step foot.
South Coast, yes, not Malindi.
If this house was so invaluable to you, why not give it to a family member, one of your sons maybe?
We need to respect our parents for one thing. They know us inside out, like I know my family. If I opted to give this house to one of my sons, I would be in a greater problem than I'm in the middle of right now. They would kill each other. They would destroy the house until it is normal. They are greedy vultures who never get satisfied with what they have and what I give to them.
And you think a beautiful 19-year-old girl is with you because of love?
Whatever the reason, they suit me fine.
You'd rather give your money to a complete stranger than to any of your family members?
Precisely.
Nothing further.
Dr. Mkoa.
Yes.
Is it typical for a family man to leave his possessions and wealth to a total stranger?
Yes, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Most wealthy people are known to even leave their wealth to cats.
Is it also normal for a man to give up items of sentimental value just like that?
Well, that as well is not off the cuff. When a person is healing, especially from the loss of a loved one, most people tend to give away all that will bring fond memories. And it's simply a healing passage. It's simply a passage of healing. It symbolizes the detachment from the dead and the pains that go with it. Whereas others would hold on to the memory for as long as they can. Both methodologies have pros and cons. It's purely on a personal level.
In your assessment of Johnny Pay, would you say he is of stable mind?
Of course, yes. His actions are deliberate. He's fully aware of himself and the repercussions that go with his actions.
Would you say that he has been manipulated by young Penny Lima to give her his prized possessions?
Well, men are known to forsake kingdoms because of a woman.
Tell us about that.
From my own opinion, both of them have had symbiotic relationship, and they are both aware of it, especially the old man.
Thank you.
What exactly do you mean by symbiotic relationship?
It simply means both of them have had mutual benefits from their relationship.
And what would be Penny Lima's benefit in this relationship?
I'm not in a position to answer that. I think she's in the right position to do so.
What else would a teenager benefit from a relationship with an old, wealthy man?
Again, I'm not in a position to answer that.
But you do agree that she is getting something out of it.
So is Johnny, from the look of it.
No more laughter in court.
In your expert opinion, is he still grieving?
Well, grieving is a process, and I believe he's still healing.
Since he's still healing, is it possible that he's still depressed?
I meant he could not possibly just forget about his late wife of 43 years.
But he could be acting out of the whims of his depressive mood and not necessarily his sound mind.
It is a possibility, but highly unlikely because...
Thank you, Doctor. That will be all, my lord.
Tom?
Yes.
Have you seen Rachel? We were supposed to meet here earlier.
But I thought you were with Rachel earlier on.
No, she left early. Said she's coming here.
But I should believe that if she's in need of your help, she should be able to call you.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, speaking of the devil, so now we know exactly where she was.
Mm-hmm. Rachel, sit this side.
Rachel, what is the meaning of this?
All rise.
I trust all parties are present. In the matter of Thomas and Daniel Paye versus John Paye, after carefully listening to and reviewing the testimonies of the sons, the doctor, and the man in question, that is John Paye, I have come to the conclusion that John Paye is of sound mind. The objections raised by the sons are, in my mind, devoid of merit and must fail in totality. The objections were not made in good faith, and the application for power of attorney over his assets and wealth is hereby denied. In the same vein, the other prayers relating to the beach property transferred by Mr. John Paye are baseless and must fail. Case dismissed.
All rise.
Thank you for being with me.
And thank you, Grandpa, for understanding me.
Ah!